You know that moment, your AC or maybe your furnace kicks on, and instead of just, well, air.
You get something else.
Exactly, something weird, a strange smell. Maybe it's kind of musty, or worse, something smells like it's burning.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been there, I think, sniffing the air going, what is that?
And it's definitely a question worth asking.
Yeah.
Because, well, some of those HVAC smells, they might seem like nothing much.
Just annoying.
Right, just annoying.
Yeah.
But they could actually be your system trying to tell you something important about its health, maybe your air quality, or, even your safety.
Okay, so this deep dive then, consider it your personal guide, your decoder ring for those mystery smells coming out of your vents.
Yeah, helping you figure out what's going on.
Exactly. Our mission is basically to give you the shortcut, what your nose might be picking up, and really importantly, when you need to call in the pros.
Makes sense.
And for that expertise, we're leaning on the folks at Mr. Cool AC and Heating. They're family-owned, been serving Cypress in Greater Houston since, 1979.
Yeah, they've probably smelled pretty much everything an HVAC system can throw out there.
I bet. So we're going to break down some of the usual suspects today. The smells. Musty, moldy, burning, gas, chemical.
And even a few less common, maybe weirder ones.
Right. It's interesting how distinct they can be, isn't it?
It really is. It's almost like a language, the HVAC system's language, and these smells are the key words.
Okay, let's start with a really common one then. That musty or moldy smell. Sometimes people say it smells like dirty socks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the dirty sock syndrome. That smell is a pretty strong sign of, biological growth, usually mold or mildew somewhere in the system.
And that comes from?
Moisture, almost always excess moisture. See, your AC naturally makes condensation, right?
Yeah.
Because that water doesn't drain away properly. Maybe the drain line is clogged or something. It pools. When the drain pan, maybe the coil, even inside the ducts.
And damp, dark places.
They are a big breeding ground for mold and mildew. Exactly.
So it smells bad, obviously, but is it, actually harmful or just unpleasant?
Well, it's generally not something you want to just ignore. Mold spores, mildew, they definitely affect your indoor air quality.
Especially for some people.
Oh, absolutely. If you have allergies, asthma, any kind of respiratory issue, those airborne spores can really trigger problems. So, yeah, persistent musty smell means there's a moisture issue that needs fixing.
Okay, makes sense. So what if, I change my air filter regularly, like I'm supposed to, but the smell's still there?
That's a good question. If a fresh filter doesn't help, especially if the smell is strong or it just keeps coming back, that's when it's time to call for professional help.
Like Mr. Cool AC and Heating.
Exactly. They can do a proper inspection. They'll look at things like the evaporator coil that gets really cold and wet, so stuff can easily grow on it.
Dust, grime, all that.
And they'll check the condensate drain line, make sure it's clear and draining right. You really need to find and fix the source of that moisture.
Got it. Okay, let's shift gears to a smell that definitely gets your attention. That burning smell, or maybe an electrical kind of odor.
Yes. And that one. That's a serious red flag. Always.
No messing around with burning smells.
Absolutely not. It could point to some really hazardous issues. Electrical, mechanical, you name it.
So what kind of things could cause that specific smell?
Well, there's one sort of less alarming cause. Sometimes right when you turn on the heat for the first time in the fall.
After it's been off all summer.
Yeah. Dust settles on the heat exchanger. That first blast of heat burns it off. You get a brief burning smell, then it goes away. That's usually okay.
Okay, temporary dust burn off.
Right. But if the smell persists, or happens in other times, that could be serious. Like an overheating motor, a blower motor maybe, or failing electrical parts, wires, capacitors.
Things getting too hot.
Exactly. They can overheat, melt plastic, produce that burning smell. And if you have an electric furnace, the heating element itself could be overheating.
So definitely not just an inconvenience. This sounds like it could be genuinely dangerous.
It really is. A recurring burning or electrical smell, that's a potential fire hazard. Simple as that. Not something to take lightly at all.
So immediate action. What should someone do?
Turn the system off. Immediately.
Yeah.
At the thermostat and maybe even the breaker, if you know how. Then call a qualified professional right away.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. You need someone licensed, like the technicians at Mr. Cool, who could safely diagnose whether it's electrical, mechanical. Ignoring it could lead to, major system damage or, worst case, a fire.
Definitely not worth risking. Okay, moving on. Another really distinct one, that rotten egg smell. Sulfur. Gas.
Yes. And that smell is there for a very specific reason.
Because natural gas itself doesn't smell right.
Correct. It's naturally odorless and colorless. So the utility companies add a chemical, mercaptan, which has that really strong, unpleasant, rotten egg odor. It's purely for safety.
So you can detect leaks easily.
Exactly. Even small ones. So if you smell that coming from your vents and you have a gas furnace,
It means gas is getting where it shouldn't be.
precisely. It could be a leak in the gas line to the furnace or maybe something inside the furnace itself. Another really serious possibility is a cracked heat exchanger.
Okay, why is that so bad?
Because the heat exchanger is what separates the combustion gases, the stuff that's burning from the air that blows into your house. If it's cracked, those fumes, including dangerous carbon monoxide,
The silent killer.
right, and also that mercaptan smell, it can all leak into your home's air supply. Extremely dangerous.
Wow. Okay, so this is maybe the most urgent one. What's the protocol if you smell gas?
Immediate safety first. If you know how to turn off the main gas supply to your house and it feels safe to do so, do it. Then get everyone out. Leave the house immediately.
Don't stay inside.
No, call your gas company from outside or from a neighbor's house, not from inside your own home. They need to come check the main lines first.
And after the gas company says it's clear,
Then you call a qualified HVAC company, like Mr. Cool AC and Heating. They need to inspect the furnace itself. Check for leaks, check the heat exchanger, and crucially, test for carbon monoxide. Make absolutely sure it's safe to operate.
critical steps.
No.
Okay, let's touch on some others. What about a chemical smell? Or sometimes people describe it as kind of sweet.
Right, that sweetish or chemical-like odor often points towards a refrigerant leak. Refrigerant is the stuff in your AC that actually does the cooling.
So if it's leaking,
Well, two things. One, your AC won't cool very well. That's a common symptom. And two, the refrigerant itself can have that distinct smell. Sometimes can also be harmful if you inhale a lot of it.
Any other causes for chemical smells?
You could potentially smell burning plastic, which, again, points back to those electrical issues we talked about. Overheating components, melting insulation.
Still fire risk then.
Definitely. And one other thing, sometimes the smell isn't from the system itself. If you store things like paint, cleaners, solvents near an air intake.
Oh, the system just sucks the fumes in.
Exactly. It pulls those fumes in and circulates them through the house.
So if I smell that Swedish smell, and maybe my AC isn't keeping up, that's a likely refrigerant leak.
It's a strong possibility, yeah. In that case, you need a certified technician. They have the tools to find the leak, fix it, and then recharge the system properly. Don't try to handle refrigerant yourself.
And burning plastic.
Saying there's any burning smell, turns the system off immediately, call for help. Fire hazard.
Got it. And if it's just chemicals stored nearby?
That's simpler. Just make sure those containers are sealed tightly and move them somewhere well away from any air intakes or returns.
Right. Okay, we've covered the big ones. Musty, burning, gas, chemical. Any other weird smells people might run into?
Yeah, a couple more pop up now and then. One is a sewage smell, like actual sewer gas smell coming from the vents.
That doesn't sound like an HVAC problem directly.
Usually it's not. It often means there's a plumbing issue nearby, maybe a cracked sewer vent pipe near your ductwork, allowing those gases to get sucked in.
Okay. And the other one?
The other one, unfortunately, is sometimes the smell of a dead animal. Critters can get into ductwork sometimes. Mice, rats, squirrels.
And if they die in there?
You get a really, really unpleasant decaying odor spreading through the house.
Oh, boy. So who do you call for those? Sewage
Yeah.
and dead things?
For the sewage smell, probably best to call a plumber first. They need to check the plumbing vents and pipes. An HVAC tech can inspect the ducts too, see if they need cleaning afterwards.
And for the animal issue.
You might need an animal removal service first, depending on the situation. But then, yes, an HVAC company like Mr. Cool can definitely help with cleaning and sanitizing the ductwork afterward. You absolutely want that done.
Makes total sense. So really, the big takeaway here seems to be, don't ignore weird smells from your vents. Ever.
That's the bottom line. They're clues. They could signal something minor or something really serious affecting your safety, your air quality, your comfort.
And catching things early.
Can definitely prevent bigger headaches, bigger repair bills, and keep your home safe and healthy.
Excellent. So pay attention to those smells. Trust your nose. It could be telling you something important.
Exactly right. Your sense of smell is a pretty good diagnostic tool sometimes. If your HVAC starts smelling funny, consider it a signal. Something needs looking into. Don't hesitate to get professional advice.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, if you're listening in the Cypress or Greater Houston area and your nose is telling you something's off, remember Mr. Cool AC and Heating, been doing this since 1979. Their number is 281-859-7937.
Good resource to have.
Definitely. So maybe the final thought is, listen to your house. What is your HVAC system trying to, tell you with these smells? Being aware is the first step.